A small spacecraft drifts silently through the emptiness of space. Its interior is frozen in time. Frost clings to the walls, dust floats in zero gravity, and everything feels abandoned. Inside one of the cryopods, a single woman is still alive. After decades of drifting, a salvage ship finally finds the vessel. Heavy tools cut through the hull, scanners sweep the ship, and 3 crew members move cautiously through the frozen corridors. Against all odds, they find the woman and pull her from cryo-sleep. She is Ellen Ripley. Ripley wakes up aboard a massive space station known as Gateway Station, disoriented and haunted by memories she cannot escape. A company representative named Burke visits her and explains the impossible truth. She has been drifting through space for 57 years. Everyone she knew is long dead. As he speaks, Ripley suddenly panics, clutching her chest as if something is trying to tear its way out. She wakes, screaming. Just another nightmare. Those nightmares never stop. Ripley is brought before a corporate inquiry where she recounts the horrors aboard the Nostromo. She tells them about the derelict ship, the creature that slaughtered her crew, and how she was forced to destroy the ship to stop it. The company listens politely, then dismisses her testimony entirely. No evidence, no proof, just another traumatized survivor. To make matters worse, Ripley learns that the company later colonized the same planet where the creature was discovered. Terraformers, dozens of families, have been living there for years. According to company records, no hostile life was ever reported. Shortly after, Burke returns, this time with Lieutenant Gorman of the Colonial Marines. Contact with the colony has been lost. They want Ripley to accompany a Marine unit as an advisor. She refuses outright, until another night terror shakes her awake. Realizing the threat may still exist, Ripley agrees, but only on one condition. The creatures must be destroyed, not brought back. The military ship Sulaco travels toward the distant colony. Cryopods open one by one, and a squad of battle-hardened colonial marines emerges, loud, confident, and cocky. Ripley notices something unsettling. One of the crew members is an android named Bishop. Her fear resurfaces immediately. The last android she trusted betrayed her crew. During the briefing, Ripley tries to warn them about the alien threat, describing its intelligence, speed, and acid blood. The Marines laugh it off. To them, this is just another bug hunt. As they prepare for deployment, Ripley assists with loading operations using a massive power loader, a machine designed to move heavy cargo with ease. The Marines suit up in full combat gear, weapons locked and loaded, and board the dropship. They descend to the colony. From the outside, the settlement looks eerily intact. Inside, it feels dead. Blast doors are breached, walls are torn open, and entire sections look like they were sealed off in desperation. Motion trackers show nothing. No bodies, no survivors. Just silence. Then they reach the science lab. Ripley freezes. Preserved in containment tanks are facehuggers, the parasitic creatures responsible for implanting embryos. Some of them are still alive. Suddenly, movement appears on the tracker. A small figure darts through the facility. The Marines give chase and discover a terrified young girl hiding in the walls. Her name is Newt. She's the only survivor. Ripley earns her trust almost immediately. Using the tracking implants embedded in the colonists, the Marines locate all of them clustered beneath the processing plant. Hope surges. Maybe they're alive. They descend. As they move deeper, the environment changes. The walls become organic, pulsating, alive. Ripley realizes the danger immediately. Firing weapons here could rupture the reactor cooling system and cause a nuclear explosion. The Marines are forced to surrender their heavy ammunition, entering the nest with minimal firepower. Inside, they find cocooned colonists fused into the walls. One survivor begs them to kill her, moments before an alien erupts from her chest. Then everything moves. The aliens were everywhere, hidden in the walls, ceiling, and floor. The ambush is instant and catastrophic. Ammunition detonates. Marines are dragged screaming into the darkness. Acid blood melts through armor. Chaos erupts. Gorman freezes under pressure. Ripley takes control, commandeering the armored vehicle and driving directly into the hive. She pulls out the remaining survivors just as explosions tear through the structure. Only a handful remain. Ripley demands they nuke the site from orbit. Burke objects. The facility is owned by the company, worth billions. Hicks takes command and sides with Ripley. The dropship is summoned, but disaster strikes again. An alien hidden on board kills the pilots mid-flight, crashing the ship into the colony. Now trapped, outnumbered, and low on weapons, the survivors barricade themselves. Ripley discovers Burke ordered Bishop to preserve alien specimens, even at the cost of human lives. Just when it seems the survivors might finally catch their breath, Bishop delivers devastating news. Deep within the colony's systems, the emergency venting sequence has been triggered. The reactor is destabilizing, and once it reaches critical failure, the entire facility will detonate. They have less than 4 hours before everything, the hive, the colony, and themselves, are reduced to vapor. There is only one way out. The second dropship aboard the Sulaco can be piloted remotely, but the colony's communications array is damaged. Someone has to manually access the transmitter tower and realign the antenna so Bishop can establish a signal. The route is dangerous, narrow, and fully exposed. Without hesitation, Bishop volunteers. As an android, he's the only one capable of making the journey without fear or fatigue. The others arm him with tools and weld the access hatch shut behind him, sealing him alone inside the maintenance tunnel as he crawls into the darkness. Back inside the colony, the mood grows heavier. Time is running out, ammunition is low, and nerves are stretched thin. Hicks takes Ripley aside and gives her basic rifle training, teaching her how to handle the weapon properly, how to control recoil, and how to conserve shots. She listens carefully, absorbing every instruction. This isn't about survival anymore. It's about protecting Newt. Later, Ripley tucks Newt into a room and lies down beside her, offering comfort in the only way she knows how, by staying. For a brief moment, the chaos fades, but peace doesn't last long. Ripley jolts awake to a faint sound. Instinctively, she reaches for her rifle and freezes. It's gone. Her heart starts pounding as something skitters into view. A facehugger crawls toward her, its spider-like limbs moving fast. Ripley snatches Newt and bolts for the door, desperately trying to trigger the security cameras to alert the others. But the screens stay dark. Burke has shut them off. With nowhere left to run, Ripley pulls the fire alarm. Sirens erupt throughout the colony. The facehugger lunges, nearly reaching her face, until armed Marines smash through the window, guns blazing. The creature is destroyed, just inches away from its target. Once the immediate danger is gone, the truth comes out. Burke orchestrated the entire situation. He planned to impregnate both Ripley and Newt with alien embryos, smuggling them back to Earth as living specimens. He knew Ripley was the only one who could expose him, which is why he tried to silence her. Before they can fully confront him, the lights suddenly cut out. The colony plunges into darkness. The group moves into the main hallway, motion trackers in hand. The devices immediately light up with activity, movement everywhere, closing in from all directions. They seal blast doors behind them, but the signals keep coming. Too many, too fast. Then the horrifying realization hits. The movement isn't in front of them. It's above them. Hicks peers into the ceiling panels and recoils in horror. Xenomorphs crawl through the ventilation shafts, stacked on top of each other, pouring toward them like living shadows. He opens fire, and the rest follow. Gunfire tears through the ceiling as aliens rain down from every opening. Chaos explodes, muzzles flash, acid blood sprays, screams echo through the corridors. Burke uses the confusion to slip away, locking himself inside the medbay, only to be dragged away moments later, paying for his betrayal off-screen. The Marines fight desperately, but they're being overwhelmed. Hudson goes berserk, killing as many xenomorphs as he can until he is dragged beneath the floor, screaming as he disappears into the hive. With their numbers dwindling, retreat becomes the only option. Vasquez stays behind to hold the line while Hicks cuts through a sealed door. Ripley leads Newt into the ventilation system, crawling through narrow shafts while aliens pursue them from all sides. Vasquez continues firing, but acid blood sprays across her leg, burning through armor and flesh. Immobilized, she's trapped. Lieutenant Gorman returns for her. Surrounded, wounded, and out of ammunition, the two share a final moment. With one grenade left between them, they embrace and detonate it, taking the pursuing xenomorphs with them. The explosion rocks the colony. In the vents, the shockwave throws Newt into a massive fan shaft. She falls through the structure below. Ripley tracks her movement using the locator she gave her, racing to reach her. But it's too late. A xenomorph snatches Newt and vanishes into the hive. There's no time to grieve. Only Ripley and Hicks remain. As they attempt to reach Bishop, another alien ambushes them in an elevator. Hicks kills it, but the acid blood eats through his armor, severely wounding him. Limping and exhausted, they barely make it to the landing zone as Bishop arrives with the dropship. But Ripley refuses to leave. She orders Bishop to take Hicks in return. She's going back for Newt. Fully rearmed, Ripley descends alone into the hive. Flamethrower, rifle, flares, explosives, every weapon she can carry. Bishop warns her she has 19 minutes before the reactor explodes. She doesn't hesitate. This is no longer about survival. It's about saving Newt as if she was her own child. Deep inside the hive, Ripley follows the tracking signal until it suddenly stops. Newt's watch has fallen off. All hope seems to be lost. Nearby, Newt awakens cocooned to the wall, watching in terror as an egg slowly opens beneath her. A facehugger begins to emerge. Newt screams. Ripley hears it. She's close by. She charges forward, destroying the creature just before it can leap. She cuts Newt free as explosions rumble through the hive. They run, straight into the heart of the nest. Hundreds of eggs surround them, and at the center of it all, the queen. Massive, immobile, laying eggs in an endless cycle. Guards descend from above as Ripley raises her flamethrower, threatening the entire brood. The queen hesitates, then retreats her guards. Ripley backs away, then makes her choice. She opens fire. Eggs ignite, facehuggers burn, acid splashes everywhere. When her ammo runs dry, she detonates explosives, rupturing the queen's egg sac. Enraged, the queen gives chase. Ripley follows the trail of flares she left behind, sprinting through collapsing corridors. She reaches the elevator just in time, blasting the queen back and escaping upward as the facility tears itself apart. At the surface, the dropship is gone. For a moment, hope dies. Then the second elevator rises. Bishop returns just in time. They escape as the colony erupts into a massive explosion, the planet consumed in fire. Back aboard the Sulaco, relief washes over them, until it's ripped away. Without warning, a massive bladed tail erupts through Bishop's chest, lifting him clean off the floor. The impact is violent and sudden, spraying fluids across the cargo bay. Ripley barely has time to process what she's seeing before Bishop is violently ripped apart, his upper half thrown against the wall like scrap metal. Standing behind him is something far worse than anything they faced so far. The xenomorph queen has followed them home. Newt screams and bolts, scrambling beneath the grated floor panels as the Queen roars and advances. Ripley instinctively draws its attention, backing away as the creature towers over her, filling the corridor with its massive frame. Steel doors slam shut between them, cutting Ripley off, leaving Newt alone on the other side with the Queen. The monster immediately shifts its focus. The Queen lowers itself, peeling back the floor panels with terrifying precision, reaching down with clawed limbs as Newt desperately crawls away beneath the deck. The child is trapped, pounding on the metal as the Queen inches closer, her massive jaws snapping just inches above her hiding place. Then, the steel doors explode open. Ripley steps through, encased in the cargo loader exosuit, towering now herself, transformed from survivor into something else entirely. Mechanical arms hiss and lock into place as she faces the Queen head-on. There's no fear left in her voice, only resolve. A brutal, close-quarters fight erupts. The Queen lashes out with raw power, smashing into the loader, sending Ripley crashing into walls and support beams. Ripley counters with the loader's hydraulic arms, slamming the Queen back, pinning her against the bulkheads. The two giants clash in a violent dance, flesh against steel, each blow echoing through the ship. The Queen screeches, slashing wildly, tearing into the loader's frame as Ripley barely keeps control. Realizing brute force won't be enough, Ripley maneuvers backward toward the ship's airlock. The Queen advances, enraged, focused entirely on Ripley now, exactly what she wants. With one final shove, Ripley forces the Queen into the airlock chamber. But the Queen isn't done. She strikes back, impaling the loader and ripping Ripley free. Both of them tumble into the airlock together. The Queen claws at Ripley, seizing her leg just as Ripley reaches the control lever. Ripley is thrown violently against the ladder, barely managing to grab on as debris, tools, and fragments of metal are sucked past her. Ripley screams in pain as the force threatens to rip her from the ladder entirely. Hanging by one arm, muscles shaking, a deafening rush of air erupts as the Queen is violently dragged toward space, screeching and flailing, still clinging to Ripley's leg. With the last of her strength, Ripley kicks free. The Queen is ripped away, spinning helplessly into the void, finally gone. As Ripley collapses back inside the ship, the doors slam shut. Behind her, Bishop, barely functioning but still alive, reaches out just in time to pull Newt away from the airlock, saving her from being sucked into space. Silence follows. The nightmare is finally over. In the aftermath, the survivors regroup. Ripley, Newt, Hicks, and the damaged but loyal Bishop are all that remain. The ship is quiet now, drifting peacefully through space once more. One by one, they enter cryosleep, sealing themselves inside their chambers. As Ripley's pod closes, her expression is no longer haunted, only tired and finally at rest. The journey home has begun.